Hello and welcome to another video lesson with Mr. Roman. Today the lesson title is Finding Missing Sides by Using Trigonometry. So we're going to be finding missing sides of triangles, but first let's talk about the relationship between triangles and their angles, the sides of triangles and their angles. And so we see that we have this triangle. It's a right triangle because we know this is a 90-degree angle here. And we have an interior angle of 25 degrees and 65 degrees. So depending on where we were standing in this triangle, we would have a different perspective of what the opposite leg of the triangle is, the adjacent leg, and what the hypotenuse is. Okay, so let's say we took the perspective of having the 65-degree angle. So let's imagine someone was standing right here in the 65-degree angle. Then the opposite leg of the triangle would be across from that, which is the A. You can see I've highlighted that in red here from the 65-degree angle's perspective. Then the adjacent leg, adjacent meaning connected, is this length here, which is B. So I've highlighted that in blue. And then the hypotenuse of the triangle is always going to be across from the 90-degree angle. So here's the 90-degree angle. Across from that is going to be the C in green. And so now let's take the perspective of the 25-degree angle. So again, if someone were standing here at the 25-degree angle, you would say that the opposite leg of the triangle is going to be across from that. So it's going to be this B. And then if you're standing at the 25, you'd say the adjacent leg, or the leg that's connected to the 25 degrees, that's going to be the A. And then the hypotenuse is going to be, again, across from the 90-degree angle, which in this case is going to be the C. Now, let's say we wanted to find the sine relationship between of the angle, which is going to be the opposite leg divided by the hypotenuse. So sine of whatever our reference angle is equal to the opposite leg divided by the hypotenuse. So here, if we're taking sine of 25, so if our reference angle is 25 degrees, that means I'm standing here at the 25 degrees, then we're going to take the opposite leg, which is B, and we're going to divide that by the hypotenuse, which is C. So B, the opposite leg, divided by C. Then if I was taking the vantage point or the reference of 65 degrees here, then the opposite leg would be A, and the hypotenuse would be C. So the opposite leg goes on top, and then the hypotenuse, C, goes at the bottom. Now let's look at the cosine relationship. So the cosine is the angle, again, the angle of reference is equal to the adjacent leg divided by the hypotenuse. So if I was taking the vantage point of the 25-degree angle, and I'm using the cosine relationship, that would be 25 degrees here, the adjacent leg, which is A, divided by the hypotenuse, which is C. So this would be A divided by C. And then if I'm taking the cosine relationship of 65 degrees, so 65 degrees is my vantage point, then I'm going to say the adjacent leg, which is B, is divided by the hypotenuse, which is C. So B divided by C. And then lastly, the tangent relationship. So the tangent relationship is the reference angle is equal to the opposite leg divided by the adjacent leg. So let's start here with our vantage point angle of reference as 25 degrees. So from 25 degrees, we're going to say the opposite leg is B, and the adjacent leg is A. So we would say B divided by A. And then if we're taking the vantage point of 65 degrees, so 65 degrees being here, then we're going to say the opposite leg is A, and the adjacent leg is B. So we're going to say A divided by B. So here's a summary of the three different relationships within trigonometry. So you have sine, cosine, and tangent all labeled out here. And this concludes the video lesson for part 1.